to the gods and goddesses. There's a lot of debates about this plane of existence, okay? In reference to whether we live on a flat plane of existence, whether it's a flat earth, or whether it's a spherical structure. I'm here to tell you that we live on a hollow earth. There is a gentleman by the name of Admiral Richard Byrd, who on his voyage to Antarctica actually seen a massive hole. He actually flew his plane through this hole and actually discovered Agartha. And when they told you that we have the earth, the crust, the mantle, the core, all of that was false, okay? We actually have a central earth, all right? And in our central earth, there is a sun, all right? The sun is named Apsu. There's lands, and these beings are actually more advanced than we are on the surface. In fact, they refer to us as surface dwellers. We talk a lot about extraterrestrial biological entities, but what a lot of people are unaware of is that we have a lot of interterrestrials, beings that actually also inhabit this plane of existence that feel like this planet is just as much as theirs as we feel like it's ours. I'm going to go through a list of interterrestrials that actually exist in Agartha. Being you see right here is referred to as a Daro. This is Dr. Malachi Z. York's publication called The Melanite Children, and I states that, lack of better words, they have a strong dislike for human beings. Actually, they are very human appearance, yet far from it. These beings actually dwell in caverns in our inner earth. These beings have mixed their genetics with ours, okay? This is one of the reasons for obesity, okay? And individuals that actually take on this shape typically have the genetics of the Daro, all right? And you see it all throughout history. There's a lot of examples of it, descendants of the Daros, all right? So this is a perfect example of extraterrestrial, or rather interterrestrial genetics that actually made it to the surface. The Daro have very little melanin. Their skin appears pinkish gray in color, much like the corpse of a Caucasian and a pig. Reason being, they have not been exposed to the inner or outer sun. They live in caves and have degenerated so much they don't have much intellect. Daro has no fingernails, toenails, nipples, navel, or rectum. Their eyes are silver gray and glow in the dark. They have no teeth and their mouths are full of a gummy, slimy substance. They are nocturnal and can hear very well. Their trunk or nose is long like that of an elephant. Their insides are similar to that of a cow. They have two stomachs and their digestive system are the same. Not to mention both the cow and the Daro chew off the cud. What chewing off the cud means is when they actually initially digest their food, before it actually reaches their stomach, they actually regurgitate it back up. Next beings I'm going to show you is from the Dako tribe, as well as the Teros, okay? The Teros are basically the concept of the coneheads, all right? When you see the show Coneheads, they actually got this from the Teros. Here is the Dako tribe. The Dako tribe are actually from the 8th planet in the 19th galaxy, Elion. They're from planet Risk, all right? And when their planet was in jeopardy, they came down to Tiamat and took residence in the caverns in Central Earth. The Tero are also a group of benevolent beings who lived in an adjacent cavern to the Dako. The Sunians or Tero, which is short for integrative or constructive, are a subsurface race that usually keep the Daro in check in order for the Tero to keep their sanity. They bore further into the earth, however, due to the crossbreeding, the Tero took on different forms, and others look so human they can come to the surface and not be noticed. The Teros and the Dako tribe are actually keeping the Daros from actually coming up to the surface and wreaking havoc, all right? We also know about Yakub, okay? Yakub is a mixture between a Dako as well as a Tero. Yakub is actually referred to as the big head scientist. Yishak is the father of Yakub, and Lucinus is the mother of Yakub, okay? So she was a Tero, and he was from the Dako tribe. When they combined together, they actually created the big head scientist we all know as Yakub. Ishak and Fukor had 5 other brothers, okay? This is the Yakub family that you see here. All save the first 2 stayed within the caverns. Ammo, who was also a runaway, he lived 20 miles outside of the enclosed garden at the site where the bodies of Adam and Eve are buried, called Mount Arafat. There were originally a village within illegitimate birth between Yishak and his brother Fukor's wife, Lucinus. So in essence, Yakub was created in birth through cheating, basically. His brother basically made it with his brother's wife, right, pretty much. So they had to keep it on the low. And when they found out, they outcasted them, pretty much. That's what transpired according to the story. It stated Lucinius was mad at her father, Lasma, for giving her away because she wanted to marry a Tero like herself. Because she was angry, she had a child by Yishak, the disagreeable, yet reformed brother of Fuqar. She did this so that the child would be of no benefit to her tribe. Many thought him unpleasant to look upon. Yakub, who was born hydroencephalic, having the head twice the size of his tribe members, the Dako and the Teros. Because of it, by no fault of his own, he got much attention because he had the head of the size of two men. When he grew up, many referred to him as the big head scientist. He was scorned and mocked, thus he wanted to get revenge on his people. There's also reptilians that dwell on the surface as well. In the ancient times, the Hopis referred to them as the Snake Brothers, all right? In fact, there's whole maps underneath California, the state of California, that actually indicate that these beings reside. That's why they call it Los Angeles. It's the city of the Los Angelics. Animals in inner earth are a lot larger than the beings on the surface, all right? There's animals that are supposedly extinct, okay, that are actually inner earth, like the dinosaurs and various other beings, dragons, fairies, pixies, anything that you pretty much assume was fiction, pretty much reside in Shambhala or Agartha. Beings in inner earth actually grow to be a lot larger as well. The air is cleaner. Everything's a lot better. You actually become more intelligent down there. There's so many beings that I haven't even got into that are actually inner earth. Too much to even make mention in this video.